Welcome to the explainer. Buying a home, it's a huge deal. And it almost always boils down to this one kind of scary question: which mortgage should I choose? It feels like if you get it wrong, you've made this massive financial mistake. Well, in this explainer, we're going to decode that choice completely so you can walk away feeling confident you've made the right call. So here's what we're going to cover. First up, we'll tackle that big question that trips almost everyone up. Then, and this is the cool part, we're going to look at it from a totally different angle, a banker's perspective, to find the real answer. After that, we'll break down the actual numbers, and we'll finish up with a super simple framework so you know exactly which path is the right one for you.
All right, let's just jump right in. At the absolute heart of all this mortgage confusion is one big dilemma that pretty much every single home buyer runs into.
So this is it. This is the moment of truth, right? The bank offers you two ways to pay back your loan: equal principal or equal installment. And right away, your brain starts spinning. One option seems to save you a ton of money on interest, but the other one gives you this nice, simple, steady payment every month. So which one is actually the better deal? And here's the trade-off that stumps everybody. On one hand, you have equal principal. The big selling point: you pay less total interest over the life of the loan. Sounds great, right? But here's the catch. Your payments start out really high, and then they slowly shrink over time. On the other hand, you've got equal installment. With this one, you do pay a little more in total interest, but, and this is a big but, you get a totally predictable fixed payment every single month. So you see the problem? This is exactly the dilemma we're here to solve. Okay, so to really crack this puzzle, we need to do something a little counterintuitive. We have to stop thinking about what's best for us for just a second, and instead try looking at this from a completely different perspective. That's it right there. The real secret is to stop thinking like a borrower and start thinking like a bank. I mean, think about it. For a bank, your loan isn't just a loan. It's an investment. And like any good investor, they have a very specific tool they use to measure the value of any investment they make. And that tool is called present value. Now, don't let the fancy names carry you. The idea is actually super simple. It just means that money you have today is worth more than the same amount of money in the future. Why? Because you could invest it and make it grow, right? So banks use this concept of present value to calculate what your entire stream of future mortgage payments is worth to them right now, at the exact moment they give you the money. Okay, so now that we have this key concept, present value, let's actually apply it to our two mortgage types. Let's see what the bank really sees when they look at these two options. Now, to make this super clear and easy to follow, we're just going to use a really simple example from our source material. Let's imagine we're talking about a small 6-month loan. It's for 600,000 yen, and the interest rate is 6% per year. All right, so if you go with the equal principal method, by the end of those 6 months, you'll have paid back a grand total of 610,500 yen. Okay, now let's look at the equal installment method. The total you pay back here is 610,543 yen. So yeah, it's a little bit more. And this is where that confusion comes right back in, isn't it? One of these clearly looks cheaper on paper. So just looking at those two numbers, the obvious conclusion seems to be, well, duh, the bank makes more money from the equal installment loan, right? But is that really true when we put on our banker hat? Nope, not at all. Remember that secret weapon, present value? When the bank takes all those future payments from the equal principal loan and calculates what they're worth today, what do you think that number is? It's exactly 600,000 yen, the exact amount they loaned you in the first place.
Okay, fine, but what about that equal installment loan? The one that looked more expensive? Well, when you calculate its present value, what do you get? Yep, you guessed it. It's also 600,000 yen. And this is the big aha moment. This changes everything.
So the key insight, the whole point, is right here. From the bank's perspective on day one, both of these loans are financially identical. They are worth exactly the same to the bank. That whole debate over which loan is cheaper or a better deal, it's basically a myth. The real difference isn't about the value of the loan. It's all about the structure of how you pay it back. So that begs the question, right? If they're financially identical, why do the payment schedules look and feel so wildly different? Well, to answer that, we've got to get into the nitty-gritty, the mechanics of how each one actually works. Just look at this table. When you see the payments side by side, the difference is just, boom, right there in your face. The equal principal payment starts high and then goes down, down, down each month. But the equal installment payment, it's the exact same number every single time, rock solid. So let's break down how equal principal works. It's actually pretty straightforward. Each month you pay a fixed chunk of the original loan amount, the principal. In our little example, that's 100,000 yen. Then, on top of that, you pay interest, but only on the balance you still owe. And since that balance is shrinking every month, the amount of interest you pay also shrinks. And that's why your total payment goes down over time. Now, equal installment is a different beast. The bank uses a special formula, an annuity formula if you're curious, to calculate one single, fixed payment that you'll pay for the entire life of the loan. The tricky part is what's happening inside that payment. At the beginning, a huge chunk of your payment is just going to interest. But as time goes on, that balance shifts and more of your money starts chipping away at the principal. The massive upside here, total absolute predictability. And if you look at it visually, it couldn't be clearer. Equal principal is this downward slope, right? You start high, you end low. Equal installment is just a perfectly flat line, completely consistent from start to finish. So the choice you have to make has nothing to do with which is cheaper. The real choice is which of these two shapes, which of these two cash flows is a better fit for your financial life. All right, so we've busted the myth. We know that one isn't better for the bank than the other. So now we get to the most important part of all. How do you take this knowledge and actually make the right choice for yourself? So here's the bottom line. How do you choose? Well, you should probably go with equal principal IF if you can comfortably afford those higher payments right now. Or maybe you expect your income to go down in the future, say, as you get closer to retirement. On the flip side, you should go with equal installment IF if you really value a predictable monthly budget. Or if your income is stable or you expect it to rise over time, which would make that fixed payment feel even easier as the years go by. It's also the choice if you just need lower payments at the start. So, you see, we need to reframe the entire question. The right question isn't which loan is cheaper. The real question is, which cash flow is better for me? And the answer to that, well, it depends entirely on your personal finances, your career path, and honestly, what's going to let you sleep better at night. Because in the end, it's about so much more than just the math. There's this great line from the source material that says, "A house is for living in, not for speculation." And that really hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? The best mortgage, the right choice, is simply the one that helps you live in your home comfortably and sustainably for many, many years to come.